the man in the position to be pressured into providing a life for a woman.
Financially, right. But this is also showing that women secures, like, helps with men mentally. Mm-hmm. So you won't be able to secure that bag without your mental state being right? So we rehabilitate you, and you go create those finances.
Well, right? let me try to answer that. Is you chose me because I was rehabilitated or not, or whatever, for you to choose me in the first place.
Women, most of the time, women look at things as fixed projects.
Yeah.
So you don't get chosen because you're fixed already. You get chosen because you're a project they're trying to fix.
That's why I disagree with you on it. We could talk about that in the comments down below. What type of men do we have in our society that are raised with the idea that is ever a question that they should have?
So you feel like men can't ask women for money?
I don't think that they ever should.
Wow.
Ever should. Ever. If you can't do it on your own, you're being unsuccessful.
Like your gender roles are showing.
What you mean?
Like it's showing.
Talk to me. What you mean?
Like that's a gender role. Like I feel like that's
because I think men should be men. I think men should be men. I don't think men should ask women for money. I don't think he should. In my opinion, I don't think that he should. He should be able to hold the weight on his shoulders his goddamn self and not expect any goddamn handouts. And this is the exact shit that we have gotten away from. And we act like this shit is normal. I don't think that should be normal. Mo, I know I feel like you're checking out the conversation just a little bit.
Cultural self-hating. Now I could do the whole fancy thing and go word for word and point for point. I just don't feel like doing that right now. But Mediocre Tutorials posted a video where he had two black women on the panel. And one of the women in particular did, a classic African-American female behavior, where Mediocre Tutorials asked her what black women are, bringing to the table in terms of a marriage and a relationship, especially being a man that's making, a lot of money or providing. Now, one of the things that she said that I can't disagree with is that, if a man wants respect and, a man wants to, lead and things like that, then he needs to be providing. Can't disagree with that. However, here's the bullshit and here's the busy assignment. Just like that little 22-year-old black girl years ago, she's probably in her 30s now, but or late 20s. But I'll never forget when she came on that radio show and she said, a black man can't do anything without the strength of a black woman. And so, Mediocre Tutorial, he responded appropriately to one of the statements that she made, because it's like it doesn't make any sense. If the dude is already established and the dude is already together, how are you enhancing him? Because this is what she dove into, right? The idea that there's no such thing as a black man who's awesome and kick-ass and established. The black woman's mere presence and her essence has to be there in order for him to get his mind right, so that he's now fully, a functioning black man, because no black man can be a fully functioning black man on their own. And this is the bullshit of it all. And you want to talk about ways in which I can slam black women, or ways in which I can say that black men need to leave black women alone and go out here and just deal with other races of women. This is the main area right here. And this is irrefutable. There's no response to this. There's nothing. There's nothing that black women can say to counter this shit. Okay, this is pure bullshit. It's pure magical thinking. And it's pure arrogance. And this goes back to what I said about women having the wrong orientation and belief systems. I want you to think about that, right? We got black boys failing all over the community, right? Women will say it's because their daddy's not there. That's what they'll say. Women can't raise these boys to be fully functioning men. That's why the black boys are failing. That's why black women don't have anybody to marry. Blah, blah, fucking blah, right? That's what they'll say. Right? But yet, you have a woman that basically says, even when she comes across a man that's established, that she has to somehow get his mind right. Right? What it really comes down to is her trying to create a position for herself. That's what it comes down to. Trying to take, the situation where men are providing actual tangibles and women, like, they don't even know what their role is supposed to be within, these, patriarchal relationships. The women are literally trying to not only fabricate a valued role, but they're trying to equalize it to what men are actually providing. Now, I don't jump up and down about that, because I believe that a traditional relationship is one that is, people will say complementary, but at the end of the day, it isn't equal. Right? He who has the gold has the power, or she who has the gold has the power. If we're talking about hypergamy and women are going out here and dating up and getting with a man who already has his shit together, already arrived on his ship, and she's getting on his ship, there's no equalizing her position to him. I mean, the smart thing for a woman to say is, hey, I'm getting with the program. Like, what does a woman have to offer? I'm supportive. I'm getting with his program. We're going to have children together, and he's guiding the ship. But see, the problem is when black women do not like being the ad lib to a black man's song. No matter how awesome he is, they have to they have to create the scenario where no black man is quote unquote perfect. We know nobody's perfect, but I'm saying in terms of it established, providing for a family, right, which should be the bare minimum. The women have to dismantle that and say, oh, well, he ain't get his mind right. Think about the audacity of a woman, right? And when you look at the collective of the black community, black boys are failing. 86% of black children are raised by single mothers. Black boys are failing, right? We got all this gun violence out here, boys shooting up the place and everything else. Black boys are failing. And yet you have a black woman that has the audacity to get up on the microphone on the internet and say that she can add or enhance a grown ass black man who's already there, who's already established, that she can enhance him and make him a better man. Right? It reminds me of that clip with the Boondocks. You know what I'm saying? What did he say? What did he say? I'm going to marry this white hussy because you are too virtuous and strong. It might make me a better man. I mean, literally, that is what these women think. This, again, goes back to belief systems, that whole idea that black women just think that they're intrinsically better than black men and all that stuff. This is why, as a black man, you got to be on. You got to crush these women's beliefs, period. And in large part, the reason they have this belief, it's not based on, the community's broken and all this shit that they keep on running around here and saying. They've already been exposed. I mean, I want you to think about how, right? So let's say you get a black woman who raises her son. He's, they're in the ghetto together. She raises her son to be disciplined and everything else. And he may have some deficiencies because his father wasn't there, but he actually, goes to MIT, gets a degree, whatever, and he's this kick-ass engineer, right? Making good money, well into six figures, comfortable lifestyle, right? And this is the mother that actually did that. I'm talking about giving credit to the mothers whose sons actually have gone out there. She's beat the odds, being a single mother. She heavily invested in her child all by herself, and her son actually makes it somewhere, raised by a single mom. And then some black woman, right, that the man met 2 months ago that he's dating, comes and walks in the room and opens her mouth to say, well, your son, he was all right and everything, but, it wasn't until he met me and the essence of a black woman that he got to where he's at now. I want you to think about that. When black women tried to do the same thing with Michelle Obama. You know what I'm saying? It was a black man, a white woman who raised Barack Obama, and he was raised by his white grandparents. And they tried to say that, well, Michelle Obama enhanced him and made him the man that he, and if it wasn't for her, because she was already at the law firm, if it wasn't for her, then Barack Obama wouldn't have become president of the United States. I mean, the audacity of that. I mean, just talk, not only the arrogance of it, but taking credit away from the people who actually are more influential in molding the person. You know what I mean? I mean, hell, when it comes to, so I guess when black men go out there and they're interracially dating, right? Because black women say that all the black men that got their shit together and are making money are out here swirling it up and interracially dating. Okay, so are all these black men that are swirling it up and interracially dating and getting with all these non-black women, are they incomplete black men? And then when they got with a non-black woman, then all of a sudden they became even better, right? So all these black men are going out there to get with non-black women for their completion courses because they're really incomplete. Or were these men already complete when these women met them? I know what a black woman's going to try to say. They're going to try to say, oh well, he was with a black woman and then she made him better and then he left her and then got with a white woman. That'll be their argument. This video has to be the absolute most bullshit that I've seen online in terms of this belief system that sisters run around here having. I mean, that just basically contradicts everything. Not to mention the fact that here you have, right, to even prove the arguments about, oh, it's because the community is broken is even further bullshit as to why these women are belligerent on the shit that they're on. To further highlight how much bullshit it is, I want you to think about the fact you have a woman here that's saying that even though black women are failing with the boys that they're raising, that a black man who is coming out of the same broken community, that she can fix him. Right? That she can fix him and repair, despite the community being broken. Despite the community being broken. Because that's where the majority of these black men are coming from. Despite the community being broken, she can enhance him and make him a better man. Despite the community being broken. So why is the community being broken an excuse? I mean, I've seen so many women online, so many sisters online who think this, who have this idea. And I know what it comes down to. It's real simple to understand. It comes down to if a sister just came online and said, well, I don't really have, much to offer. I'm just trying to get with the, guy's program and he's got it going on. And, I'm pleasant. I look good. I'm not going to knock that because that's what a lot of dudes want, especially guys that are established. That's what they want. A pleasant, submissive, cooperative woman to be with. That's what guys want. They want that. That's what they're interested in. You look good. You're cooperative. Hey, we can do things together. This, that, and the third. Right? But these women don't want to say that. And they don't want to say it because they recognize the inequality in the fact that the man is bringing more to the table than she's bringing to the table. Plain and simple. These two things cannot be equalized, no matter how much the women try to equalize it. Now, you got some women who go off and they'll try to match the dude's money and all that stuff because at the end of the day, the fundamental issue is the power dynamic in the relationship. You want to talk about why the black family and the community is all busted up and the power dynamic in the relationship. Black women at the collective level have a fundamental issue with black men being ahead, even when they're kick-ass, even when they're doing it. I mean, the audacity to sit there. Oh, well, I understand that this brother is, because we're talking about women dating up, right? Oh, well, I'm trying to date up and everything. But I mean, even when a brother comes and he's got his shit together, he doesn't have his mind right. Just think how vague that is. He doesn't have his mind. I just with my presence will go off and get his mind right. I mean, this woman actually said in the video, and you can hear her say it. She actually said in the video that black women go out here and they seek men that they can fix up. They can fix up. I'm like, whoa, well, there's a clear indicator that you all are avoiding men that have their shit together. You're avoiding them because you want to be able to find these lost puppies in the pound, these broken black men, and then try to come in there and leverage the position and say, oh, well, I built him. I did this. So he can never assert himself as patriarch or lord over me. Right, but then we get into all this traditionalism and all this stuff where you all want the benefits of patriarchy and the benefits of traditionalism, but without any sort of sacrifice, without there being some sort of exchange, right? Men want the respect, right? They got to provide and build and maintain and all the other stuff, right? Women want to be taken care of. Well, they got to get with a man's program that who's in the position to provide for the woman and the lifestyle that she wants to have on top of, provisions for children and safety and security, right? I mean, so like all the stuff that keeps coming in the room, all the smoke screens, all the deflections and everything, all the, the colorism and all the self-hate and all this other stuff that keeps coming in the room. This is an issue that's been constant since day one. Again, like I posted that video, what was it, Sweet Baby Brown or something like that. Do we want the power or do we want the men? Not dumbass Sergeant Willie Pete, but Mr. Sergeant Willie Pete. Speak to this. Speak to this. Not all that other dumb shit that you're talking about. Why did what I said when I asked that question 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, when I asked that question, I mean, she was one of my biggest detractors. I was dumbass Sergeant Willie Pete. But when I made the video, do you want the power or do you want the man? Light bulb went off in her head. That shit resonated with her. And she said, speak to this, not that other dumb shit that you're talking about, right? Because you're talking about a woman that really did not fucking care for me. I mean, this is 5 compartments. This is one of the 5 compartments that with the Titanic, sinking. I mean, she said it right in there that we're out here looking for men to fix. If a dude is already established, there's nothing for a woman to do. There's no place, there's no position for her to leverage. And that's one of the main reasons why these women avoid black men that have it together. They've been told that we're beneath them. They've been told that we're not, supposed to be, kick-ass. They've been told that we don't operate independently. That's why all these dudes calling Kevin Show on some dusty shit, talking about, how they're high value man without having money are idiots. Idiots, period. They can sit there and bitch and whine and cry and piss shit and fart and fuss and kick over church benches about how they feel about the situation. Motherfucker, this is how it is. Point blank, period. And if you don't understand the dynamic of you having to overpower women in the relationship, you most certainly are not going to understand it when it comes to competing with other races of men in the economic marketplace. Point blank, period. It's not about how you feel. It's about positioning. And all these ideas of just, having intrinsic value and there's just an intrinsic loyalty, that's bullshit. You need to get that shit out of your head. All this feminine energy, all these feelings and shit. Get that shit out of your head. And that's one of the things why I've had a contempt for sisters, over the years, online in these conversations because of the intellectual dishonesty that these women come in. They come through. And I have more respect for a person that is evil that says, moo ha 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 ha, this is exactly what I'm trying to do, moo ha ha, moo ha ha. Then somebody who comes through and then tries to act like, oh, I'm just trying to help you, brother. Oh, I'm trying to do this. Oh, I got your back. I got this, that, and the third. That's why none of that, black women, we support black men and we out here marching. And that's why none of that shit resonates with me. Because I've seen the fuckery of black women over the course of years being online. Listen to this shit. It's the same thing. It's the same shit, just packaged differently. Every time. Every time. A black man, he has to get his mind right. So how are you? So first off, what grounds do you even have that a black man needs to get his mind right, like needs you to get his mind right when, number one, he's already ahead of you? That's the first part. And then the second part is, he needs to get his mind right, as though you are the harbinger of getting his mind right. How? You're not even successful at raising your own sons. Then you mean to tell me you come across a black man that's already got it together and the first thing out your mouth is, oh, let me go over there and enhance him? You can't even enhance your own black sons. Look at all these black boys out here, just shoot them up, bang, bang, and everything else. Most of those boys are coming out of single mothered homes. So how are you going to sit there and say that you can raise a black man to higher levels of getting his mind right, whatever the fuck that means? But yet we see the results with the black boys. I mean, that's like somebody literally, I'm like, they're literally telling you about how they're going to teach, AP calculus or some shit like that. I'm like, but you do realize that you failed Algebra 1 last semester, right? You got an F in Algebra 1. Like, so where do you get off coming in the room, acting and talking like you're about to teach AP calculus? That you're going to come in the room and start telling us about derivatives and shit. Where does this come from? Where? You can go, I'll put the link in the description box. You can go and you can listen to the video yourself. If Mediocre Tutorials takes the video down, I've already downloaded it, so you don't have to worry about that. Both his show and Kevin Samuel's show, because those shows are jewels. I mean, I gotta have receipts. Okay. Cause ain't no telling what the future brings. People will be talking all type of shit and everything else. And it's already happened, where people, they post stuff, they say something crazy, and then they take it down, and then they continue to make videos and then deny what they said. I'm like, you made the video. This is what you said. And again, I'm not going to forget it, because especially if it's somebody that I've gone back and forth, like there was like a 20 video series of back and forth arguments. You spent weeks, stuck on this one point, going back and forth about how full of shit the other person is based on the video that they put up. And again, when they lose the argument, what do? Take the video down. You know what I'm saying? My videos, other than my channels getting flagged and video and shit being taken down and whatnot, my videos will stay up. My comments are open. People can come through and say whatever they want in the comments. Although I've had to block a few people and remove them because, I'm just at the point where, like, I already know what I shouldn't say all there is to know, but I already know what the fuck is going on out here. I already know people's tactics and people's bullshit and everything. And you get some people that they literally just either troll or they never have any substance to what they're saying. I'm like, I'm letting you say what you want to say on the page, and they come through and it's like, you're a dumbass. I'm like, okay, what did you disagree with in the video? Like Kevin Samuels loves to do. What'd I get wrong? Tell me what I get wrong. Write it in the comment section. Detail what I got wrong. That's another thing that chick didn't do. She didn't detail, well, the black woman, she brings the home, right? And I have an idea of what she means, as a woman, and she may decorate the house again, build upon the foundation that a black man lays. Yeah, the black man, he's the breadwinner, he buys the house and all that other shit. And then, she goes in and decorates and put her feminine touch and all that, and, organize and design the baby room and put the rocking chair in the corner and all that other stuff. I ain't thinking about that shit. I am not going to sit there and argue with her about that shit. You know what I mean? Again, with patriarchy, men are socialized to give women what they fucking want in order for the man to get the woman that he desires. You know what I mean? On top of the fact that the women already got the advantages of the goddamn court systems, you already take half of a motherfucking shit when you divorce them. You know what I'm saying? But some of you all are even stupid with that. It's so important for you to be in control that you'll go out here and you'll get with some dude that can't provide for a family. Then when the situation doesn't work out, and then you try to take him the legal route and take him through the court system and everything, you get nothing. You know why are you getting nothing? Because you can't squeeze blood from a turnip. I know that's an old expression, but you can't squeeze, like, in other words, nothing from nothing equals nothing. Just like this woman said in there, I go in there and get and black women look at black men like they're a fixer-upper, like they're fixing a project. I'm like, I already fucking knew it. It's like the guy that goes out and instead of buying the AR-15, I like to build my own, but I'm saying for the guy that goes out and it buys the AR-15, the basic M&P Sport AR-15, and then, ends up spending an additional $500, accessorizing the damn thing. I'm like, dude, had you spent another $200 on that, $400, $500 rifle that you bought, then you would have already had all the accessories and all the stocks and all that shit, all the Magpul shit that you want to throw on it. But instead, they want to go the cheap route, and they go, oh, well, no, I'm going to buy this $400, $500 rifle, and then next thing you know, I can't afford $600, $700, and then next thing you know, they go out and they spend $900 in accessories. I understand people can't, it may come down to, not having to pay for it all at once, but you get my point. All this, I want to, but no, what that's designed to do is leverage the woman's position in the relationship. I built him. I made him. He would be nothing if it was about me. And was just so like, just, it's not only offensive, but what's so fucked up about it is, literally, dude will be, 99.999% of the way there, and that woman will come in and claim, the 0.0001% and be like, I built him. You know what I mean? Or like I said, even other black women should be offended. Black women who are mothers, whose sons didn't go to jail, whose sons, made it to college and went to some Ivy League school and are now accomplished and, could provide a very comfortable lifestyle for, any woman that he so chooses to be with. You know what I mean? Those women should be offended at these other young black women coming in the room and acting like, well, your son, he would just be nothing if it wasn't for the strength of I. Like, bitch, are you fucking see? Who the fuck is you? You know what I'm saying? And I've seen that happen twice in my lifetime. There was one woman that I was dating. She tried to pull that bullshit. And she actually, and again, this was like when I was younger, I didn't really know what was going on. Oh, my mom checked that shit with the quickness. She checked the hell out of it. But, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't until years later that I sit down thinking about that. I'm like, oh, that's what that was. That's what that was. You see? And then another situation, same thing, watching a mother sit there and look at some woman, some young woman that their son is dealing with, try to act like, she's what really makes him kick ass. You know what I mean? When the mother recognizes, like, you're a controlling bitch who's trying to ride the coattails of the accomplishment that is, what my husband and I have invested in my child to make my child this well-rounded young man. And you're going to come through with some old matriarchal ghetto bullshit and try to act like you made him. And bitch, you just got here last month. We don't even know who the fuck you are, where the fuck you came from. And truth be told, if you dived into some of these women's history and past and everything, you'd find out that they are fucked up and they're in no position to sit there and arrogantly talk about, how they're enhancing somebody. I mean, the audacity of these bitches, the audacity of them. But hey, this is what they do. This is what the fuck they do. But like I said, I don't know when I'm going to post this video. I don't really post it on the gun channel. But that's the only channel that I have available now because YouTube, but they're bullshit. I don't know. I might make a backup channel. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do right now. 5 compartments, y'all. I mean, this is seriously 5 fucking compartments. We've given the women so many damn chances. I mean, to sit there, you got those guys on Kevin Samuel's show saying, it's not about the money and all that other shit, which I totally disagree with. Idiots. Totally disagree with them. Okay, we've already gone over this and covered this so many times ad nauseum, and especially for men. Like, I don't have no sympathy for men when it comes to that shit. I'm like, motherfucker, you're a man. You're supposed to know that when the facts are laid out, you accept that shit. Ain't about how you fucking feel. But here I got women like this woman on the fucking show. And again, this isn't the first time I've heard this bullshit, who come through with we're out here looking for fixer-uppers. Okay, well, I direct you to the guys that were on Kevin Samuel's show talking about it's not about the money and money isn't everything, which is something else that she also said. Well, that's not everything. I'm like, decades of hearing I'm looking for a BMW. We understand money isn't absolutely everything, but it's damn important. It's goddamn important. And again, see, this is why I always look at the shit and I'm like, a lot of this shit comes from women. And the problem is there's no men to check this shit and teach these young men to get out of their fucking feelings. This is the problem with fathers not being in the home and all this other stuff. And before a black woman jumps up and says, well, that's because black men abandon the black woman and the fathers is not there and y'all not being real men. Again, you heard the shit come out of the woman's mouth. She said at point blank period that women are out here choosing fixer-uppers. Okay? And a fixer-upper is a man that's clearly, he's not on. He's not on. He's not where he needs to be, and yet she will pass go and collect $200 in the Monopoly game and just continue to move forward because she's doing what she wants to do. I don't think that these women want to go out there and get a dude that's just completely broken. Only the idiot women do that shit, or the women that are immature and caught up and in the big dicks and swag and all that other shit, right? And, he can dance and, all that crap, right? But the majority of women, they do not want perfect black men. Because first off, it just counters their whole belief about the intrinsic awesomeness that is the black woman. Just how awesome she is. She's just so innately awesome, and she just does everything, and people just are enhanced just being around them and shit. It reminds me of one of them perks in the Division II and shit, where it's like if you rally around a particular player and he's got the proper perk, everybody's damage goes up 25% or their armor goes up 35% or some shit like that, trying to convince you to, I think it's the cat perk, right? Gets you to come together and you get like benefits by sticking around this one person in multiplayer, whatever. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating listening to this shit. I mean, and the women, they gaslight, they come on. Again, I keep seeing the parallels between women and white supremacy. I keep seeing the gaslighting and the fucking intellectual dishonesty and the saying that they're about something that they're really not about, and then catching them, in their blatant contradictions. Just like I talk about with the Second Amendment stuff. Blue lives matter until we get to talking about, tyranny, right? And with women, it's the same damn thing. White supremacy goes out there and we want to see black people show some personal responsibility and get their shit together. As soon as black people get their shit together, reverse racism. The women that go out there and we want black men to get their shit together. And as soon as black men go out there and get their shit, I don't like a man that can take me or leave me. Y'all just want to control women. Evil, oppressive, white supremacist, capitalist patriarchy. Y'all black men are just imitation white men, and y'all just want to oppress the black woman. Well, let me tell you, sir. Like all that nonsense. I'm like, I thought the problem was too many niggas in the black community were broke. Now all of a sudden, you got to find some way to smack down the idea of a man getting himself established without you. That's what I'm saying. Brothers out here, they dating white girls and they got their shit together, dating non-black women and they got the shit together, and y'all up there complaining. I'm like, bitch, please, man. Again, I'm not going to say each and every black woman, but a huge, significant portion of sisters really need to shut the fuck up when it comes to, their bitching and their fucking complaints on shit. They really need to shut the fuck up. Anyway, that's all I got to say. That's my video. SWP out.